For 5 years of marriage, we never once bought beef at home. Until the department dinner. I caught him secretly taking a Hui ethnic girl out for beef noodles. I sat down directly at their table. Zhou Jingcheng instinctively took a drag of his cigarette, his voice tight. Xiao Zhao is new here, she couldn't get used to the dishes at the dinner. I didn't say anything. I just bought all the spiced beef in the shop. It's okay, I'll watch you two eat. My husband is allergic to beef. Looking at the mountain of beef piled in her bowl. Zhao Yuyu nervously tugged at Zhou Jingcheng's sleeve, tears falling. President Zhou. Zhou Jingcheng sighed. Wife, what are you doing? You're scaring her. She's Hui, she can't eat pork, that's why I took her out. How can she finish all this? As he spoke, he scooped all the beef from her bowl into his own. She coughed lightly. Zhou Jingcheng glanced at the cigarette in his hand, then got up and walked outside. Zhao Yuyu forced a flattering smile, wiping her tears as she did. Madam, please don't misunderstand. President Zhou is just being considerate of me, a young girl alone. I heard you're a stay-at-home wife, so you probably don't know how busy the company is. I hope you won't be angry with President Zhou. After all, who sleeps beside you isn't what matters is whose heart a single tear falls on. I shot up from my seat, raising my voice. If it's all so above board, why not eat openly? Why sneak out with my husband for a secret meal? My husband hasn't complained about me being a stay-at-home wife, so why are you sticking your nose in? Who are you to lecture me? Everyone in the shop turned to look. Zhao Yuyu's face flushed bright red. Hearing the commotion, Zhou Jingcheng immediately stubbed out his cigarette and came back in. He frowned almost imperceptibly. Wife, I was the one who brought her out. If you have a problem, take it up with me. There's no need to be so harsh. I cut him off directly. The dinner had every kind of ingredient. If she can't eat pork, she could eat something else. Why did you, President Zhou, have to sneak her out for a private meal? She's not the only Hui employee in the company. Why don't you take the others out for special meals too? The more I spoke, the angrier I got. I raised my voice another notch. Give someone an inch, and they'll take a mile. Rotten meat attracts flies no matter where it is. Men can't keep their belts fastened, women can't keep their legs together. The crowd of onlookers grew. Zhou Jingcheng's frown deepened. Wife. But he knew my temper and didn't dare say more at the moment. Zhao Yuyu kept throwing pleading looks his way, but he ignored them. She looked utterly shattered, wobbling as she stood up. Madam, you've really misunderstood. I'm sorry, I'll leave right now. Please don't fight because of me. I've never been cherished since I was little. It's okay, if I'm wronged a little. With that, she gave Zhou Jingcheng one last meaningful look. Seeing him remain seated, she ran out in shame and anger. I leisurely glanced at Zhou Jingcheng's clenched fist and handed him a pair of chopsticks. Aren't you going after her? She's crying. Since you're not, you might as well eat all this beef. It was paid for, after all. He stared at the beef in front of him, emotions churning in his eyes. The next moment, he looked up helplessly with a faint smile. Wife, have you forgotten I'm allergic to beef? I nodded. I forcefully placed the chopsticks in his hand. So you do know you're allergic to beef. Then eat up. He looked at me for a long moment, then took my hand. Resigned, he picked up the chopsticks and began to eat, not forgetting to grumble. You sure are jealous. I looked at him seriously, speaking slowly and deliberately. Jingcheng, we both graduated from top universities. Ours isn't a superficial relationship, nor a marriage of convenience. We struggled together when we had nothing. You went from having nothing to being a small business owner making $1 million a year, and I played a part in that with my advice and strategies. After we had our daughter, I sacrificed my career to stay home full-time. All these years, our home has been clean and tidy, and you've never had to worry about a single thing. The beef in his bowl was almost gone. He was starting to breathe with difficulty, red rashes spreading across his face. I calmly added more beef to his bowl. You come home every day to a ready meal, fruit I've peeled for you. If you're hungry in the middle of the night, I make you a snack. I'm telling you all this because I want you to cherish this relationship, not to let me down, and not to destroy this family. He was struggling to eat, cold sweat beading on his forehead. His throat felt blocked, his voice muffled. Before he could respond, his eyes rolled back and he fainted. Calmly, I pulled out my phone and dialed 120. After a night of emergency treatment, he was out of danger. His mother rushed over to berate me. Jiang Sharon, how do you take care of my son? You know he can't eat beef. Before I could speak, Zhou Jingcheng hurried to my defense. Mom, this isn't Sharon's fault. I ate it myself outside. After his mother left, my feelings were complicated. Putting the beef incident aside, Zhou Jingcheng was indeed an excellent man. In the first year of our marriage, I had an ectopic pregnancy. The doctor said I only had a 50% chance of getting pregnant again. His mother once pulled him aside in the hospital ward and urged him to divorce me. Zhou Jingcheng's reaction was intensely emotional. The only wife I'll ever have in this life is Jiang Sharon. If you force me to divorce her, I'll never marry again. Because of those words, even though we later had a daughter, his mother never dared to push for divorce again. After I was discharged, he spent all his time at home except for work. To cheer me up, he booked plane tickets for me and our daughter to travel abroad. Seeing his attempt to make amends, I decided to meet him halfway. So on his mother's birthday, I brought our daughter home early. But what I walked into made my blood boil. Cups, bowls, and plates were smashed all over the floor. The sofa and floor were covered in spilled soup and leftovers. Zhou Jingcheng came out of our room holding Zhao Yuyu's hand. She was wearing my clothes. Take it off. I stormed in, furious. As I got closer, I noticed she was wearing the Zhou family's heirloom jade Buddha around her neck. When I gave birth to our daughter, relatives had joked that his mother should give it to me. She had just been evasive, saying she'd wait until I had a son. Now it was on someone else. His mother was the first to object. In front of all the relatives, she scolded me. Jiang Sharon, this is my son's home. We had guests today for a meal, and you and your daughter were off having fun. Little Zhao was kind enough to come and help. What are you yelling about? Mom, that's enough. Zhou Jingcheng shot his mother an unhappy look. Turning to me, his voice softened. Why are you back early? I thought you'd be playing until next week. I didn't answer, just stared straight at Zhao Yuyu. She instinctively touched the jade Buddha on her chest. To thank President Zhou for his usual care, and since it was his mother's birthday today, I came to help at home. She smiled apologetically. I was so clumsy, I knocked over the table. President Zhou took me to your room to change clothes. You don't mind, do you? Zhou Jingcheng put down our luggage for me and held our daughter, seamlessly picking up her thread. Little Zhao is such a klutz, she often makes things worse. If you tell her not to do something, she gets anxious. You have no idea how guilty she felt just now. I had to comfort her in the room for ages before she smiled again. She's quite adorable, really. President Zhou. Zhao Yuyu blushed deeply. Her saccharine voice made me nauseous. I lifted the jade Buddha from her collar and commanded coldly. I'll say it one last time. Take off my clothes. And tell me, by what right are you wearing the Zhou family jade? And why should my husband have to comfort you? The relatives' gazes towards Zhao Yuyu became meaningful. She was terrified, subtly shuffling behind Zhou Jingcheng. I didn't. Auntie gave it to me. I glanced at his mother and retorted without mercy. If someone gives you something, you just take it? Are your hands that dirty? Are you that cheap? What are you crying for? You had the nerve to gatecrash a family banquet, and now you have the face to cry. I don't want the clothes anymore. Just wear them out. They're just cheap market stall stuff anyway. She swayed on her feet, trembling as she took off the jade Buddha. Zhou Jingcheng stopped her, his expression darkening. That's enough. Can't you speak without being so sarcastic and harsh? The company's performance was poor this year. Xiao Zhao helped me solve the cash flow crisis. She's a major contributor to our company. My mother was happy and gave her a jade Buddha. Are you jealous? I'll buy you a better one another day, okay? In the past, whenever the company had major decisions, he always asked for my opinion first. He only dared to proceed with projects after I'd reviewed them. But since the beef incident, he hadn't discussed any business with me. Letting a newcomer make decisions, wasn't he afraid of losing everything? His mother fanned the flames. Jiang Sharon, the jade Buddha belongs to the Zhou family. I can give it to whoever I want. It's none of your business. You're a stay-at-home wife with your hand out. What right do you have to speak? If you're capable, go out and earn your own money. So what if you graduated from a top university? Now you're still being kept by my son. The relatives snickered. Even Zhou Jingqing's eyes held a hint of disdain. Zhao Yuyu quietly put the jade Buddha back on and shot me a provocative smile. I snorted derisively. I reached out and yanked the jade Buddha off. With a clatter, I threw it at his mother's feet. The atmosphere became tense. Mom, since it's a Zhou family heirloom, you'd better keep it safe. As long as I'm not divorced, you can't give this jade Buddha to anyone. Even if I am a stay-at-home wife, I don't think you'd be happy to see me divorce your son and take half the assets. You. His mother was red-faced with rage. Zhao Yuyu's neck had a red mark from the cord. She looked pitifully at Zhou Jingqing. He hadn't expected me to suddenly take action and was momentarily flustered. Sharon, it's just a small matter. Why make such a scene? Don't forget our daughter is here. This will traumatize her. I almost laughed from anger, pointing at Zhao Yuyu. So you do know our daughter is here? Then what is this woman you brought home? You took her into our room to change clothes, comforted her. Did you ever think you have a wife and daughter? What, some people would rather lower themselves to being a mistress before I'm even divorced? The last sentence was directed straight at Zhao Yuyu. Her face went pale. She grabbed her bag and ran out. Xiao Zhao. Zhou Jingqing anxiously took a few steps after her. I picked up our daughter and said icily. Zhou Jingqing, your daughter is watching. Do you want to destroy this family? He stopped dead in his tracks, his face dark with gloom. The birthday party ended in discord. After I put our daughter to sleep, he had cleaned up the living room. Now he sat alone on the sofa, smoking. His phone on the coffee table kept ringing. I walked over and glanced at it. That Hui girl is looking for you. Why don't you answer? He sullenly turned off the phone. Thinking of our young daughter, I stubbed out his cigarette. Trying to be calm and offer an olive branch, I said. I've told you several times, don't smoke at home because of the child. Last warning, okay? On this trip, I ran into my old classmate. The big client you've always wanted to work with happens to be her uncle. Tomorrow, I'll bring the client to your company to see you. But the client has a flight to catch tomorrow, so there's only half an hour. His expression finally softened. Got it. That night, we lay in the same bed with different dreams. The next day, I left our daughter with his mother and brought the client to the company. Assistant Wang immediately let us in. Halfway there, Zhao Yuyu blocked us. Do you have an appointment? I took a deep breath. No. Just tell Jingqing I've brought the client. She smiled politely but dismissively. Sorry, madam. You're a stay-at-home wife, so you probably don't know the company rules. President Zhou is in a meeting. If you don't have an appointment, please wait over here. Would you like tea or coffee? Or shall I bring you one of each? Xiao Wang, prepare tea for the guests. She didn't even look at me properly. As she left, she grabbed a few packs of beef jerky from the break room. Assistant Wang looked troubled. Sorry, madam. Sister Zhao was just promoted to President Zhou's special assistant. The whole company has to listen to her now. I suppressed my anger and called Zhou Jingcheng. But his phone was being held by Zhao Yuyu. Time ticked by. By the time he found out and rushed out, the client had already lost patience. President Zhou, your special assistant is quite something. If it weren't for my niece being friends with your wife, I wouldn't give a damn about a little company like yours. There's no need for further cooperation. With those words, the client left without looking back. Zhou Jingcheng was furious. Upon investigation, it was clear Zhao Yuyu had deliberately caused trouble. I looked at him calmly. She made such a big mistake. Aren't you going to fire her? Waiting until the new year? She panicked, words tumbling out incoherently, tears streaming down. President Zhou, I didn't know. Your mother came with your daughter, and I was busy attending to them. I didn't notice what was happening here. Zhou Jingcheng paced back and forth irritably. Losing this client made his heart bleed. But when Zhao Yuyu's tears fell on the back of his hand, he hesitated. Sharon, everyone makes mistakes. My heart turned cold. But my attention was elsewhere now. His mother had said she was taking our daughter to the amusement park. Why were they at the company? Before I could figure it out, a scream from his mother came from the nearby VIP room. I rushed in first. My daughter was covered in red rashes, struggling to breathe, already unconscious. In her hand was half a bag of beef jerky. I went berserk. I grabbed my daughter and ran, throwing the beef jerky bag at Zhao Yuyu's face. My daughter is also allergic to beef. The whole company knows that. Why did you give it to her? If anything happens to my daughter, I'll make sure you rot in jail. With that, I rushed my daughter to the hospital for emergency treatment. She received critical illness notices 3 times that night. In the early morning, she was moved to the ICU for observation, still not out of danger. I was completely drained. Zhou Jingcheng's face was also unusually grim. Zhao Yuyu helplessly clung to him, crying even more pitifully than me. President Zhou, I really didn't mean to. Today, Auntie brought your daughter for me to be her godmother. I only gave her a little bit. I didn't know it would be this serious. I couldn't take it anymore. I took out my phone to call the police. Zhao Yuyu panicked, sobbing so hard her whole body shook. The jade Buddha inside her collar accidentally slipped out. I was stunned for a moment, then looked incredulously at his mother. At the same time, my phone was snatched away by Zhou Jingcheng and thrown to the ground. Jiang Sharon, do you have to make such a big deal out of everything? Is this worth calling the police over? Xiao Zhao is far more valuable than you. You stay at home enjoying yourself all day and get jealous over nothing. You're suffocating me. Do we even have a marriage anymore? His mother chimed in sarcastically. What are you looking at? Xiao Zhao is now my granddaughter's godmother. It's perfectly reasonable for me to give her the Zhou family jade. The medical bills aren't coming out of your pocket, so what are you so anxious about? Careful, or my son really will divorce you. Looking at the faces of this family, I felt utterly dead inside. Fine. Divorce. I am, after all, a graduate of a top university. If I didn't have the confidence that came from being a stay-at-home wife, I wouldn't have given up my career so easily. Besides, the lifeline of Zhou's company was completely in my hands. Zhou Jingcheng's face darkened terrifyingly. His voice was practically squeezed through clenched teeth. Fine. You want to make a scene? Then let's divorce. You leave with nothing. I won't be responsible for any child support or medical bills. You've really pissed me off this time. It won't be fixed with a simple apology. He was convinced that, out of touch with the workforce for years, I couldn't survive without him. He printed out the divorce agreement, threw it at me, and left without looking back. His mother, overjoyed at the prospect of our divorce, cheerfully dragged Xiao Yuyu away. Xiao Zhao, you're my granddaughter's godmother now. Just call me mom directly. Auntie is too formal. Jingcheng says you have a great business mind. You'll be a wonderful helpmate to him. Best if you give him a son too. My daughter was still in the ICU, fighting for her life, and they just walked away like that. As hatred surged within me, I calmly signed the agreement. I had already done my research. Zhou's company was having cash flow problems, and Zhao Yuyu had come up with a brilliant idea. Have Zhou Jingcheng mortgage the factory, use the money to pay off the bank loan, and then borrow again from the bank. But they forgot one thing. Before becoming a stay-at-home wife, I was a senior executive at a bank. Realizing this, I calmly called my college roommate. Sister Sun, congratulations on your promotion to bank president. Can you do me a favor? After hanging up, I felt completely relieved. Luckily, my old college classmates had all climbed the corporate ladder to senior positions. My network was incredibly valuable. Because of it, even after becoming a stay-at-home wife, my various investment returns had grown year after year. My daughter's medical bills were not a burden to me. But 3 days later, my daughter's condition worsened. Your daughter's allergic reaction is extremely severe. Only Professor Xiao, who just returned from abroad, has experience treating this. Through the doctor's information, I immediately contacted this Dr. Xiao. It turned out to be my college classmate, Xiao Qingping, the same big client I had introduced to Sister Sunday. The surgery will be scheduled in a week. He glanced at me impassively. This guy was just as taciturn as ever. The surgery was a success, and my daughter was soon discharged. When he learned I was getting divorced and looking for a rental, he raised an eyebrow. The next day, he helped us find a suitable place. I rarely stay here. Make yourselves at home. We'll split the rent and utilities. With that, he hurried back to the hospital for work. But his usually steady pace was a bit rushed, and the tips of his ears were red. That night, Sister Sun was gossiping on the phone. Our campus heartthrob Xiao, we could all see back then that he liked you. But you were blind and had to marry Zhou Jingcheng instead. His family has been in medicine for generations and only cooperates with foreign banks. Banks are lining up to lend to them. Just because you asked, he proactively contacted my bank. Sister Sun kept chattering away. I couldn't help but remember the day after my daughter's surgery. I had taken him out for a meal alone to thank him. Professor Xiao, I heard your family's branch company is set up domestically. Would you like me to introduce you to a cooperating bank? Honestly, I wasn't very confident he'd agree. But I had already boasted to Sister Sun that I would cut off Zhou's company's loan and introduce her to a big client to help her meet her annual targets. Even if it meant walking through fire, I had to try. Unexpectedly, Xiao Qingping agreed without even looking up. We finished that meal in silence. I couldn't believe he had ever had a crush on me. Until I heard the door close behind me. I spun around and met Xiao Qingping's calm, unruffled gaze. At that moment, Sister Sun was still rambling on the phone. I'll bet you anything that Xiao won't be able to keep up his aloof act around you for long. He's never married all these years. Once you're divorced, he'll want both you and your child. My face flushed. I hastily hung up. He silently went into his room. I was confused, hadn't he said he rarely stayed here? On the day of the formalities, I returned to the Zhou house early to pack my things. A month had passed. When Zhou Jingcheng saw me, he was visibly agitated. Then, trying to appear nonchalant, he took a bite of his steamed bun. Sharon, couldn't hold out after a month, huh? It's okay. If you're willing to change your temper, I can still forgive you. From the moment I entered, his mother had slammed down her chopsticks with a bang. No matter how aloof a woman acts, she'll still bow down to money in the end, right? With that, she signaled to Zhao Yuyu. Understanding, Zhao Yuyu picked up an expense report and a pen and came over. Madam, President Zhou is that from now on, any expenses for you and your daughter must be approved by me. After all, the Zhou family doesn't support idle people. For a woman, just sleeping and having children isn't enough. The key is to be valuable. In the past, I would have slapped that smug look right off her face. But now, her provocations didn't anger me at all. They wouldn't be laughing for much longer anyway. I'm here to pack my things. I brushed past them and went upstairs. Half an hour later, under their astonished gazes, I came down with my suitcase. Zhou Jingcheng, today's the day we go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to finalize things. Please hurry up. Don't make me think you can't bear to let me go. I smiled innocently. Zhou Jingcheng's face twisted with anger at my provocation. Half a bun was still stuck in his throat. Don't you regret this? Who will support you and your daughter without me? In a fit of rage, he went through with the divorce procedures as quickly as possible. Before leaving, he called out to me displeasedly, standing up straight, as if waiting for me to worship him. Sharon, how long are you going to keep this up? The bank loan will be approved today. Once the company expands, I'll be making tens of millions a year. I ignored him, brushing past the panicked Zhao Yuyu as she ran over. Oh no. President Zhou. The bank rejected our loan application. What? Zhou Jingcheng's face changed drastically, his voice distorted with anxiety. Zhao Yuyu was on the verge of tears. I don't know. We had already agreed when we repaid the last loan, and this time we asked for double. But the bank flat out refused this time. I immediately contacted other banks, and they all said that if the head office wouldn't approve it, there was no way they could lend to us. President Zhou, what do we do? The factory is mortgaged, we have no working capital, and we can't complete the pending orders on time. We'll be ruined. Zhou Jingcheng's vision went dark, he nearly fainted. Leaning against the wall to steady himself for a while, he forced himself to calm down. I'll go to the bank myself and ask. At the bank. Sister Sun received him personally. Sorry, President Zhou. My performance targets for this year, next year, and even the year after are already met. There's really nothing I can do. Leaving the bank, Zhou Jingcheng's mind went blank. He didn't dare go home. He sat alone on the street corner until late at night. Only then did he muster the courage to call me. Sharon, the head office won't approve my loan. Zhou's company is finished. Can you put in a good word for me? The bank president is your roommate. At this moment, he finally had to acknowledge the value of me, his stay-at-home wife. A value that Zhao Yuyu's so-called business acumen couldn't hold a candle to. I sneered. We're already divorced. Why should I help you? Go ask your great contributor. Coming up with a disastrous idea like mortgaging the factory, even the Jade Emperor couldn't fix this. I hung up. Xiao Qingping came home. As I looked up, I vaguely saw the corners of his mouth turn up slightly. Tonight, he again went silently to his room. The mess Zhao Yuyu had created was beyond even her ability to clean up. Soon, Zhou's company was on the verge of bankruptcy. When his mother heard the news, she was so upset she ended up in the hospital. Zhao Yuyu rushed over to make her presence felt, only to be publicly slapped by his mother. You stupid, incompetent slut. Playing smart when you know nothing. You've ruined my Zhou company. Half of Zhao Yuyu's face was swollen red. Crying, she hid behind Zhou Jingcheng, her voice broken. I didn't mean to. I don't know why the bank went back on its word. I've never been favored since I was a child. Mom, if you're upset, feel free to take it out on me. I'm used to it. Her crying only made his mother angrier. She grabbed and pulled at her hair. Don't call me Mom. You have no standing, no right. What face do you have to call me that? Sharon was right. Your hands are dirty, and so is your mouth. Zhao Yuyu had never endured such humiliation. She looked helplessly at Zhou Jingcheng, even managing to squeeze a few tears onto the back of his hand. President Zhou. For no particular reason, Zhou Jingcheng felt a wave of annoyance. He subtly stepped back a few paces and casually wiped the back of his hand. Seeing his distance, Zhao Yuyu immediately felt a sense of crisis. She stopped crying instantly. Racking her brains, she came up with an idea. I actually have a senior from school whose family owns a factory. They have the same production line as our products. Maybe I can contact him and see if we can subcontract our orders to them first. That way, we can ensure on-time delivery, collect the payments, and get the cash flow moving again. The deep frown on Zhou Jingqing's face relaxed considerably. His mother's aggressive attitude also softened noticeably. Zhao Yuyu knew her moment to shine had arrived. It took her only one day to sign a contract on their behalf. Desperate and cornered, Zhou Jingqing, in a moment of rashness, mortgaged their house to pay the other factory. Unfortunately, the other party took the money and ran, selling off the product materials at a low price for a quick profit. Zhou's company couldn't deliver on time and was saddled with a huge debt. The day the Zhou family home was seized, his mother plopped down on the ground, pointing at Zhao Yuyu and screaming. Good heavens! What sin did our Zhou family commit to attract this kind of jinx? Zhao Yuyu didn't even dare cry now. She could only timidly tug at Zhou Jingqing's sleeve. President Zhou, I didn't know that senior was just out to cheat us. Don't worry, I've called the police. Police? His mother scrambled up from the ground. She yanked the jade Buddha off her chest, leaving a bloody scratch on Zhao Yuyu's delicate neck. If I'd known you were such a curse who'd bankrupt us, I should have let Sharon call the police and have you arrested back then. Shameless slut who breaks up families. Zhao Yuyu cried from anger and hurt. Holding her stinging neck, she was heartbroken. Mom. Auntie, why are you talking like that? Wasn't it you who turned a blind eye to me and President Zhou because you looked down on Jiang Sharon for having a daughter? This retort left his mother speechless. Zhou Jingqing's silence made Zhao Yuyu feel insecure. She couldn't care about anything else anymore and threw her arms around his back. President Zhou, say something. I truly love you. Even though Zhou's company is gone now, I won't leave you. I can be like Jiang Sharon and help you rebuild. Zhou Jingqing was furious inside, his nice home, gone just like that. Hearing her mention my name, he roughly pushed her away. What right do you have to compare yourself to Sharon? All you do is cry when you make a mistake. I regret it, Zhao Yuyu. You're not right for me. Get lost. These words shattered Zhao Yuyu's heart. The day sister Sun called to tell me about their downfall. Xiao Qingping was home on leave. He, who usually loved holing up in his room reading, uncharacteristically bought a ton of groceries and was busy in the kitchen. At mealtime, he gestured to the table full of dishes. I made too much. Want to eat together? I wasn't sure if he was talking to me. He frowned slightly, then awkwardly added. It's not good for the kid to eat takeout all the time. I felt a bit embarrassed. Lately, I'd been busy taking my daughter for hospital follow-ups and hadn't had the energy to cook. Seeing me not move, he came over and took my hand. Come and eat. What's with you? Still so clueless, just like in college? His tone, which brooked no refusal, completely stunned me. My daughter seemed used to it, obediently sitting down to eat. Mommy, Uncle Xiao's cooking is super delicious. Come try it. My eyes widened. Xiao Qingping held my hand, not letting go. After a long moment, he chuckled softly. Your daughter is very well behaved. She often ate the meals I brought at the hospital. She's probably used to it by now. I hastily pulled my hand back. Sister Sun's words echoed in my mind. Xiao Qingping had a crush on you. Actually, back in college, he was the campus heartthrob. I wasn't indifferent to him, but he was so aloof back then. His family was well off, and it never occurred to me that he might be interested in me. So I chose Zhou Jingqing, who came from a similar background as mine. I was in a daze throughout the meal. When I came to, I realized all the dishes today were my favorites. Watching him wash dishes in the kitchen, I said, "Thank you." His body gave a slight jolt. The corners of his mouth lifted, but he didn't turn around. I want both. I was startled. By the time I understood, my face was burning hot. The Zhou mother and son slunk back to the countryside in disgrace. The story of Zhou Jingqing and Zhao Yuyu spread everywhere. Serves him right. Doesn't know his place. Life gets a little better, and he starts playing around with other women. Abandoned his devoted wife, ruined his family because of some outside fox. These words stabbed into Zhou Jingqing's heart like needles. Late at night, when memories of our hardscrabble early days building the business came flooding back, he wished he could slap himself senseless.